Hey, look, it worked. Oh 07. Oh 07. All right, sorry about that. I hope it doesn't start notifying people that, oh, we're live again. Hello? No, no, I'm here. Can you not see me? Chat, you're right there. Can you not see me? Never to be seen again. What do you mean? I'm right here. Okay, Gilwatch says hi. All right, all right. All right, we're back. Still offline? No. No. We're online. Stop. Okay, okay. Wait, you can't. No, no, you can hear me. Shut the fuck up, Xfost. I know. No, no. I can hear no video though. No, you can hear me. Hey, look at that. Fancy meeting you here. Muted? No. Actually? No, you can hear me. I can hear you, says call me underscore. Okay, just unmute your fucking your phone or whatever you're listening to me. Okay. It's all fine for Tyler. Okay, perfect. Okay. It's all good. Okay, let's continue. See, now chat has been unleashed. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. I don't even know what I was saying. I was probably talking about how I don't like art that's basically just for beauty and aesthetics and how meaningless it actually is. Ugh. I don't like when swears at us. Who's when?
Lack of critical discernment and a reluctance to uphold standards in art has led to a culture of artistic relativism, where personal preference trumps artistic merit, and the
where personal preference trumps artistic merit. What I mean, like to have that conversation, we need to know, what does art have to do, right? What is the purpose of art? Some people will say it's purposeless, right? Art for the sake of art. Some people will say art has, it's for aesthetics and beauty, and it has like, easily quantifiable and measurable qualities that we can review. That's what cinema cartography believes in. It's also what fascists happen to believe in as well. Doesn't mean that if you believe in that, you're necessarily a fascist. But in this case, yes, they are a fascist. They are fascists. They're two people, right? Sometimes the guy, sometimes the girl talking. But then, if to you the purpose of art is to speak to, is to have a conversation between an artist, it's a mode of communication between an artist and someone who views an artwork, or as I see it, as a way to discuss and to interact with certain ideas or experiences with other people, right? To me, for example, did I believe Barbie in its aesthetics and beauty was good? It was good technically. It was a really good movie or artwork technically. In its themes and its narrative, was it good? No, it was terrible. In its ability to make people talk, was it good? I do believe so, yes. And to me, it's this latter point that is important. Can people talk about it? Can people have discussions and learn and grow through these discussions, grow through the art that they experience, whether the art is good or bad, in its aesthetics or in its narrative or in even its ideas, are they good or bad? Are people able to discuss about it and grow from it? Can they have a social experience among each other through that artwork? Can that be a catalyzing element to an interaction between people of the same society or same community or whatever? To me, that's what's important to art. That's the purpose of art. Do I believe that a beautiful landscape can do that? Maybe sometimes, but generally no. Can pure aesthetics or beauty do that? I don't think that it's enough. Pure aesthetic beauty can make me go, wow, it's beautiful. But I cannot share this experience. I cannot grow from that experience with anyone. I believe that if you solely consume art that is purely beautiful or purely aesthetically pleasing, or has great technique or craftsmanship or whatever it is, to use the same words as cinematography, I believe you'll become culturally and spiritually impoverished. Because what you're doing is you're solely looking at art for its entertainment value. Because to me, beauty is retinal, right? Retinal art. It's retinal. It's something that you appreciate solely with your eyes, not with your mind. And to me, growth comes in your mind, not in your eyes. I see you're stealing all my points I made talking to the commenter you were laughing at. You're talking in my comments. I need to look into that. I'll look into the comments of this video and to the comments of my is cinematography a fascist. Yeah, I feel like meaning is beautiful. Yeah, meaning in itself is beautiful, right? For sure. I mean, what is meaning? It depends, the purpose of art and all that. As I said, Barbie, I hated the movie Barbie, but I had some of the best conversations about a movie with Barbie than with any other movie. I loved the movie. I don't fucking know. You know what I'm fucking talking about. Philosophy Channel Discord. Oh my god, yeah. I don't go on there. If I want to read a book, I'll just read a book. And all you did was laugh at them. I did that? Okay. We'll look into it. Didn't even engage. Did I just laugh at them? I would never laugh at someone. What do you mean I just laughed at them? You know what? I think it's just funny. If I just laughed at them and I'm trying to look for it, but you know what? This sounds like... Nah. This doesn't sound too important anyway. But I think it is kind of funny. The Philosophy Channel. Oh yeah, on the... Okay. Whatever.
Identity of the artist trumps the message of the art. But to snub years of artistic tradition and aesthetic excellence,
there's I believe there is a contradiction in what cinematography is trying to say. They keep talking about meaning and the significance of art, right? Here they say
trumps the message of the art.
Trumps the message of the art. And then they keep showing this as the kind of, I think it's like the counterexample. What isn't degenerate is this. But what is the message of this, right? It is beautiful. It's classical painting. It's technically masterful, I imagine, but what's the message behind this? Right? I feel like conceptual art has a message. The message is the art in itself. But what the fuck is the message of this? Yeah, they only like the message of trad values in society school. Yeah, if it's a message that they don't agree with, it's not a message at all. Let's see what the message is behind this. Maybe they won't talk about it.
But to snub years of artistic tradition and aesthetic excellence is a fool's endeavor, and the consequence of this decline in the quality of art extends far beyond the artistic sphere.
I'm going to, let's see, turn it and try not to get it on Amy's sweater, and I'm going to flick it.
Ooh.
Oh, is that not fantastic?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's cool. Okay, hold on. This is what I'm going to do. That one's done.
Art has
I already talked about how, like, whatever that lady's doing is arts and crafts. It's crafts. It's not much art. The kind of thing that you do without really, there's no meaning to it. But there's no meaning to this as much as there's no meaning in that either. Yeah, it looks like crafts. Exactly, maybe an anarchist. Hey, now we have chat. Great. I'm glad that you're there to support me and to show that I'm not just doing this all by myself.
always played a pivotal role in shaping culture and society, serving as a reflection of our values, aspirations, and collective identity. When art loses its ability to inspire, question, and uplift,
art loses its ability to inspire, question, and uplift. That's what modern art does. This does not inspire, question, or uplift. Most people see this and they're like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Good job on whoever did that. And that's it. They don't think, they don't actually absorb it as part of their identity through discussion or through pondering. All they do is, wow, this is beautiful. This is not any of the things that cinematography is aspiring to in the art that they're trying to advocate for.
When art loses its ability to inspire, question, and uplift, society suffers. It deprives us of the transformative power of art to elevate our souls, deepen our understanding, and provoke meaningful dialogue. In a world increasingly characterized by superficiality, polarization, and instant gratification, the loss of truly great art is a tragic reflection of the loss of our shared humanity. This calls for a renewed sense of individual responsibility.
I think what we have here, and by the way, thank you, Groovalicious, first time chatting a stream, catching a stream. Love your YouTube. Thank you. And also, it's the first time you're chatting. If people could say hello to Groovalicious and welcome them to the stream, I'd be very, very, very happy. Make Groovalicious part of the community. They love the YouTube, so they might love the channel. We'll see, or the stream. We'll see. Thank you for welcoming Groovalicious. Yeah. Also, drip art is like the peak of art for the sake of beauty instead of conceptual art. Exactly. I think what's going on here is that cinematography may know a bit about cinema, but has no idea what they're talking about in terms of visual arts. To dismiss conceptual art as not having a message or not having a meaning means that you have no idea what conceptual art is. What you're doing is, or your conception of what conceptual art is that it's only there for shock factor. And very often that's the opinion of people who haven't looked into what different pieces of conceptual art are trying to say through what they're displaying. Right? It's easy to go, all right, I don't like this person did that just to shock or whatever. But no, there's often meaning behind what happened. Like I'll give like a very famous example, like Banksy shredding the painting, right? You can say, oh, that's just for shock value and leave it at that. And if that's your analysis of what art is or what conceptual art is, of course you're going to hate conceptual art. But if you decide to get a bit informed on what conceptual art is, and you understand the point of ripping if you understand what Banksy believes in, what they advocate for, and what the point of shredding an artwork at an auction, what that's trying to convey, then that might actually make you engage more, not only with the artwork, but with your conception and your vision of the art world and the art market, right? It's what it's designed to do. Another thing is Duchamp's urinal, right? If you don't understand conceptual art, if you're a dumb fuck or if you're a fascist, all of them kind of blend in together. You will believe that Duchamp's urinal is just there for shock value, and you will dismiss it because of that. You'll just say it's degenerate and I don't have to engage with it. You'll just dismiss it. However, Duchamp's urinal is one of the most, or Duchamp's fountain, which is a urinal, is one of the most influential and important artworks in the 20th century because it's much more than just shock value. The shock value makes you engage with it, but once you engage with it, that's where the actual message, the meaning of that artwork lies. If you don't want to engage with it because it's just shock value and you're like, this is degenerate, I want to look at this. Well, that's your problem. You just don't know what art is. You'll just go back to all fascists are dumb fucks. No. Last time I was, chat got angry at me for saying that some people are dumb fucks. No, fascists are not dumb fucks. Okay, pyroanarchists, we gotta be tolerant. They're just misguided. All right. Galgamus says, "Do you think Vermeer's paintings are boring? It's mostly retinal art, right? It depends on which one, right? If you, because I think you can still have great craftsmanship and be and make great art without necessarily it being retinal. And very often the conception or the concept or the ideas that are discussed are not actually presented by the artist, but by people who watch it, right? But for example, Girl with a Pearl Earring, I could not give a fuck about that painting. I have such a hard time engaging with this painting. I could never. I don't give a fuck. This painting to me is more interesting than the Girl with a Pearl Earring. By far. Could the Milkmaid have more, be more than just retinal art? Possibly. I'm sure that if I did research, there might be something in the Milkmaid. Probably the fact that Vermeer is depicting someone who wasn't used to be being depicted back then. A kind of work that wasn't supposed to be depicted back then. In that transgression, that painting gains significance and meaning. I'm sure there has to be some which are, which go beyond retinal art, or which goes beyond just the craftsmanship of the artist. I hope there is. But yeah. If subversive artists were just in it for the attention that come from shock value, they would probably just be on TikTok or something. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Shock value. Especially if everyone's shocking, then the shock is not enough. I don't think shock is enough today. Yeah, and also shock value. Well, Columbia_ says shock value. Well, why is it shocking? That's already an interesting question. It is. Yeah, Girl with a Pearl Earring is probably purely retinal. I would have to do more research on it, to be able to tell you yes, it's retinal or not. From what I've engaged with it, and maybe I'm not engaging it with it enough. Visibility for women who do hard labor. More milkmaids. More milkmaids in media. Some people are dumb fucks. It's okay. I know Groovalicious. But when I call people dumb fucks, people are like, yeah, but like they're not necessarily dumb fucks. They're just, they're like you can be both a dumb fuck and still and your stupidity is still a product of your material conditions. I'm not saying it's inherent. More milkmaids. Oh, thank you for stopping by, Groovalicious, and welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Who said that though? I don't remember. It was in the probably maybe an anarchist, because maybe an anarchist is too nice. Okay, let's continue. It's almost done. Also, like these paintings, or these are reproductions. A lot of them, I would have a very hard time caring for. You might like them because they're beautiful and because they're greatly crafted and executed. But what are they saying? Aside from the myth or whatever, like Christian myth or Greek myth that it's depicting, what is it saying?
This calls for a renewed sense of individual responsibility. It is imperative that we recognize the role we play in shaping the cultural landscape and actively strive to be better. We must resist the allure of novelty and transgression for its own sake, and instead seek depth, meaning, and craftsmanship in our artistic endeavors. By upholding and promoting the timeless principles that define great art, we can contribute to the restoration of its transformative power and its ability to inspire and provoke genuine reflection.
We want art that will change things. We want art that is transformative. But we don't want art that disturbs. So what do you want art to change things for, or change things to? What was the end goal behind this? Timeless equals European styles of the 18th century. Exactly. I love that.
The practical life of the world's underclass is extremely influenced by abstract ideas of misguided social critics of upper-class backgrounds. The truth is that intellectual and artistic life still holds immense practical importance. Practical men may not prioritize theoretical considerations, but the world is governed mainly by outdated ideas from economists, social philosophers, novelists, artists, and now even pop singers and influencers. They are the unrecognized legislators of our increasingly global society, and we ought to pay close attention to what they say and how they say it.
In Pallas's work, the impossible trajectory of hope becomes the ground where irony and advice dance together in frightening hallways, alive with languor and vitality. Screenland is the underground an overlay for consciousness.
We must embrace the wisdom of the past, while also engaging with the present, carefully considering the impact of our choices and contributions to art and society at large. By actively striving for excellence, authenticity, and meaningful connections, we can play a crucial role in the revitalization and preservation of the cultural fabric that underpins our shared humanity. Through these individual acts of responsibility and commitment, we can collectively navigate the challenges of the modern world and use our art to build a more resilient and flourishing civilization for generations to come.
I'm sure that whatever he's okay. The dog shit video, by the way. But here, this was probably extremely transgressive for the time. I can imagine that authorities didn't like that. This was extremely transgressive, and this was an affront to the to the great Louvre music, because that's in the Louvre, I believe.
Actively navigate the challenges of
and it's like that was transgressive. And I'm sure you would have said it's transgressive for the sake of being transgressive, because you wouldn't have looked into the meaning of it. Anyway, dog shit video. I'm happy they're going mask off though. I can't. Well, yeah, we said we would look into the comments. Why this is fascist? Just quickly, it's fascist because these fuckers are identifying a problem within society and linking it to culture. They're linking it to intellectuals who shape culture. They link it to, as I said at the beginning of the video, degeneracy. They don't fundamentally want to change anything. At least from what I understand in this video, they're not actually advocating for change. What they're doing they do want to change things, but just revert back to how it used to be before all this degeneracy happened. Instead of trying to understand the cause of so much of this malaise that's happening in modernity, they touched some of the causes, right? But there's no material analysis here. It's basically just culture sucks and it's the reason why we're bad, like why we're feeling terrible and why the art sucks. Culture sucks because culture sucks. There's no analysis of the material conditions that brought us there. I think they talked about the art market a little bit once. Aside from that, there's nothing. It's a shallow video, once again, that's vaguely, pointing at mediocrity, which is not even defined, as one of the reasons why society is becoming degenerate. It's Musée d'Orsay. It's not the Louvre. All right. What are people saying? I want to go, are these sorted by top comments? Yeah. Okay. Hey, I feel like I recognize this name. Okay, so the tragic and crucial difference is that if art can stimulate emotions and ideas, mass appeal cinema, because of its easy, irresistible effect, extinguishes all traces of thought and feeling irrevocably. People cease to feel any need for the beautiful or the spiritual and consume films like bottles of Coca-Cola. Which I don't necessarily disagree with. Like, I watched all of Tarkovsky's films. I don't know, this was a while ago. It was during stream, and I did say that I could feel the spirituality from his videos, and it was beautiful and all that, and I really liked it. But I do feel though that I've had more engaging movies than Andrei Tarkovsky. Like I watched Tarkovsky and it's like, I feel like I understand the religious experience a bit more because I'm not a religious person. But there's movies that I was able to discuss and actually grow from and play with ideas and concepts much more than I could ever with Tarkovsky. One of which was Barbie. I might be a degenerate, but I was able to talk about Barbie with Ballet and other friends and have really engaging, interesting, and passionate discussions on different topics, on different concepts, on how we feel and our own experiences with these concepts and ideas. We did so much work from watching Barbie. Watching Tarkovsky was more of a personal, individual thing that did not have any effect on the social. I discussed it a bit. I was like, yeah, it's beautiful. It made me feel spiritual for the first time or whatever. But in terms of having, meaning and ideas, which to me is best conveyed through discussions with people. I'm sure I could have as passionate conversations about Tarkovsky with other people, for sure. But in this case, it didn't work that much. The most annoying thing about fascists is when they get something right and then pivot hard and draw the exact wrong conclusions. Yeah, call me _. All right, so there's a group of people who control. I'm so low. I don't like this. Why am I so low? Hold on. Is this better? Oh yeah, this is better. Okay. All right. To answer to call me _. There's a group of people who control the banks. They're very wealthy. And through that wealth, they control the media. They control Hollywood. They control our culture through all the wealth they've amassed. And then you're like, yeah, isn't the bourgeoisie really problematic and like ingrained into the system? And they're like, but what? I'm talking about the Jews. What are you talking about? And you're like, what? Anyway, But yeah, let's continue. Antoine Petrov says the idea of the video is okay, and I agree with this quote as well as everything else Tarkovsky has said. Wow, blanket agreement with Tarkovsky. Whoops. No, I'm not gonna. No. But I think the final results here just shows that you should have stick to film analysis. This is funny. I respectfully disagree. They are pointing towards meaning and the loss of it, the reduction of everything to the commercialized propaganda with whims of the individual. John Vervaeke calls this the meaning crisis, and whether in art or film, the issues are essentially the same. This video definition of the great horrors actually portraits anti-communism propaganda. While criticizing capitalism in media, you drink from its poison. Thanks socialism for the possibility of founding art beyond the market interest, and Soviet Tarkovsky for this quotation. Interesting. But no, well, the Soviets, they also kind of censored Tarkovsky, so I'm not sure. Thank you for quoting Engels, anarchist. The nebulous term meaning carries a lot of things unsaid. It ignores that meaning isn't only created societally, it is equally created individually. Usually, loss of meaning refers to when we supposedly had meaning in the past. It therefore is alluding to a lost way of life that's no longer possible because of material reasons, like living in tight communities in the countryside and the belief in God. Yeah, but I believe in tight communities. Maybe not in the countryside, because I'm in the countryside. I fucking hate it. Belief in God. But I think most of what this person is saying is right. Usually loss of meaning refers to when we supposedly had meaning in the past, and then we want to go back to it. Go back to that loss of meaning, right? And it's like, I don't know if I want to go back to the meaning that people had in the past. I don't think believing in God is the kind of meaning I want for myself. I get why one could feel that people see transgression as a virtue in itself, which I believe, but this essay seems to present this as a proven fact. Do you have any arguments or examples showing that this degeneracy feeling you have is actually based on something real? Fucking love this. All right. The trash art is essential. It represents the spirit of a culture. Our time is being captured appropriately. Only when the spirit of the culture changes will the art change to match it. I agree with that. Of course. The major problem with this sort of aesthetic analysis of decline is that it points to a real problem. You mentioned the concrete issue of loneliness, child labor, unequal value exchange, etc. But without any kind of materialist framework, it just leads to empty doomerism or worse. Yeah, the worse is fascism. The often reactionary idea that it is consuming the bad art is what makes things bad is as facile as the annoying lib idea that consuming problematic art is what leads to society being unequal. The cause and effect are reversed. Without a materialist framework, you end up coming up with dumb stuff like tautological "good times make soft men," etc. memes, the fool's dialectics, or even dumber takes like the reason society is bad is because a cabal of evil puppeteers are feeding the proles, not me, the bad art, food, etc., the fool's socialism, rather than structural analyses which point to necessary structural change. Also, degeneracy, come on. Sam Hyde's TEDx talk was 10 years ago now. Full with lowercase Latin characters. Young Lean is 50 years old now. I don't know what this here. I mostly agree with this. I mean, the fool's socialism, I don't know if he says that socialism is all like that, or is it the fools socialists are like that? I don't know, but still a good comment. Like to defend socialism here. Like socialists don't believe it's well, maybe some, but it's a cabal of evil puppeteers that are feeding the proles the bad art, food, etc. No, it's systemic. It's inherent to the capitalist system, market pressures, and all that. Yeah, the same was said about Renaissance painters. Also, there's a really cool art being sold for high value. You're nitpicking, amazing, thought-provoking art. Music, movies are always being made and always will. The most expensive artwork that was ever sold was by Da Vinci. I mean, and again, it's not that good. Could probably not even a Da Vinci. Paranica says the bad cabal is the bourgeoisie. Yeah, but like to say that the bourgeoisie is like themselves, like puppeteering, and there's I think that there's a nuance between the systemic analysis of a problem and like conspiracy theories. And I think, for example, Chomsky was able to distinguish both with his manufacturing consent by explaining that the media is controlled, yes, but it's not, capitalists evilly puppeteering a cabal, blah blah blah. No, it's within, like, it's the incentive system within capitalism that makes it so that the media is controlled for the benefit of a few. But you see, like, the very slight nuance between conspiracy theory and a systemic analysis. Hello, obscure wild plant, by the way. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Oh, isn't that a term by Marx? I don't know, call me underscore. If it is, that's actually pretty cool. That believing in the secret cabal is socialism, but for fools. Interesting. I hope it's Marx. That would be interesting. I know. I was making a little jokies. Okay, thank you, Pyronicus. Thank you for the jokies. Yeah, also, Obscure Wild Planet says, also, all contemporary art is hated, always has been. Gothic architecture was considered barbaric. Baroque was found to be disgusting. It's always trads hating the new. No, trads would never hate the new and say that it's, that it's making culture impoverished. Or maybe they're right, and, we have to go back to the Middle Ages before, before the barbarians, which is a term they used anyway, changed all of art for the worse. Yeah, art is always a reflection of the zeitgeist of the time in which it was created. To signify modern commercial pop art as degenerate is missing the point of the art entirely. Good. Yeah, good. I feel like a lot of people are not necessarily in agreement here, which is good. Ever since your video of art is not for sale essay, I've always before and afterwards understood yours of this channel frustration with how art, artistic merit, and the creative process is treated and commodified and perverted for capital in today's world. I still feel this way, but my conclusions never came to something even close to the type of rhetoric this channel has been putting out. It almost baffles me how your conclusions seem to slowly shift towards parroting fascist traditionalist rhetoric that toes the line between conservatism, something that is very much the antithesis of art, free thinking, and out-of-the-box ideas, hence the word conserve, to conserve the past. These worrying trends you complain about all seem to throw the ills onto society and the pitfalls we've all faced due to the much larger and greater forces out there that we cannot control. And to touch on that, I think you fault your fellow man too much and expect the worst when it comes to the ideals and desires of another person. It is the powers that govern society that often bring on these ills and that you complain about, and the degeneracy you speak of sometimes is a way for said society to react to and fight back against those powers. Art in it of itself is expressive and provocative and very much pushes boundaries, like you said. Art, in essence, must be degenerate in the eyes of a few or many to say something. That's good. I just don't understand what your problem here is, other than parroting shallow talking points that are constantly churned out by Roman statue profile pics all over social media. At this point, I don't see things changing for this channel, so maybe just rename it to The Return to Tradition with some cross emoji and call it a day already. Fuck, this is good. Oh, the shade. Paragraphs would have helped it, but 10 out of 10 comment. This comment is good, yeah. Yeah, paragraphs would have helped, but aside from that, I'm gonna criticize it on its content, not on its form. The form could use some work, but the content, amazing. Let's let's go like this comment. I think it's the most liked comment in this comment section so far. 166. It's even liked more than cinematography's quote. Yeah, it's the most liked comment from what I can tell. Oh, 152 here. Oh, another one. This is the second most liked after, well, third most liked, including cinematography. Yeah, definitely expected generosity as a designation to be used ironically here, which wasn't. I have to agree with the plethora of comments that notice the stench of conservatism in this piece. What the essay fails to mention is that many of the examples provided for good art were in fact incredibly transgressive on their time, and if it wasn't by intellectuals that championed its transgression, we would have heralded those pieces as we do today. Also obvious that if you don't seem to get what is transgressive piece is supposedly revealing against, that it must then be either transgressive or transgressiveness sake, or outright empty of meaning, which won't always be the case. All right, that I had a hard time reading this, but that's exactly what I said though. I said like very often people will dismiss people like these, not the commenter, the cinematography person's people. Is that they'll see something and they'll be like, all right, it's just transgressive. If it's transgressive, I reject it. Fuck it, I don't want to hear about it. It's transgressive. Meanwhile, there could be something to it. Very often there is. And finally, the call for a return to artistic standards begs the question, who would set these standards and who will be able to meet those standards and who won't? Good. Yeah, cinematography, conservative art. When being against pedos equals being conservative. This is what happens. This is the degeneracy. This is the degeneracy. I want to read the comments here. This is the comments I said were really good. I think they're answering. Yeah, it really baffles me, especially like I said, going back to the commodification of art video this channel put out a while ago. It feels so reactionary, honestly, morally, ethically confused on the channel's part to go from that to these talking points. And the aforementioned that you said in your comment, which sucks. I really like this channel. Funny enough, I ended up watching a video named Is the Cinema Cartographer Fascist? And he dropped that Illusion of Progress video essay that ended up raising my eyebrow on a lot of questionable takes and conclusions he made there. I'm gonna hyperventilate. What the fuck? Hey, that's us, chat, that's us. We in it. What? We ended up raising their eyebrow on a lot of questionable takes and conclusions he made there. Then I watched the recommended video and still tried to give this channel the benefit of the doubt since I respected their earlier work so much. I figured maybe it was a fluke in thinking, or that's not really what they wanted to get across in the end. But nope, I think it might be GG after this one. Lol. A shame, really, because I love this channel and the thoughts and ideas and media I brought out into the YouTube space and inevitably in leftist discussion. To me, it feels so contradictory to advocate for art and the creative process with such vitriol without acknowledging things like you've said, and then to preach the idea of returning to more traditional roots feels like the very antithesis of what makes art art, and why art is so important. Bleh, I don't know. Meh. Well, if you're interested in here, the video I got recommended by Germinal in the Cinematographer Fascist is a bit long but interesting. Even more now that this new video is out, give it a watch or skim through it if you're interested. Just wish whoever runs this account doesn't go down this path, but it's out of my control, I guess. I don't know. Oh baby, I got some chills. I guess we're we're being fans of this first comment, but like, no, holy shit, we're gonna have this person on stream. Oof, thank you so much. I actually got a couple of comments. Whoa. I actually got a couple of comments here on my video on cinematographers fascists, because you know that pointed me towards paid actor. Paid actor. Let's go by newest. Yeah, because it did pretty good. 2K views. Okay, it's not Canvas numbers. Okay, it's not Canvas numbers, but it is really good terminal numbers. Thank goodness degeneracy came out so we could answer the question more clearly. It's false consciousness that leads to fascism. They correctly identify problems caused by capitalism, but incorrectly diagnose them and pin them on obscure factors of progressivism. Exactly. That's what's going on. Oh, guys. Okay. Outright fascist. Okay. Yeah. Oh, God. All right. I'm so happy. No, they didn't comment. The person didn't comment on my video. Oh yeah, Antoine Petrov is a comment. Okay, I've seen Antoine Petrov before. There you go. Oh, okay. Like, you know when sometimes you feel like you're doing something and you're like, does it really matter? You know, like on Germinal. You know, I'm doing Germinal for fun. I in case you don't know, my first channel, the Canvas, is my main channel. It's where I actually make a living from. But like Germinal here, like my little streams have like 20 people. My videos get like 200 views, whatever. I'm doing it for fun, right? But in this case, I made a video on cinematography, which, you know, a lot of people were like, you're calling them fascists, blah, blah, blah. You're just like another lefty calling them a fascist. You know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm doing this for fun. But then someone watched that video and it made them raise an eyebrow. Out of like the 200 and 400 people who watched that video initially, it made them raise an eyebrow. I didn't convince them that they were fascists or whatever, and that's not necessarily what I wanted to do with the first video. But like in a way, it primed them. Okay, that's something I've been saying on stream for a while, right? When you're trying to convince people, you don't have to convince them outright, like right now, right? You don't have to convince them instantly. Most people won't be convinced instantly. Usually, it's a lot of things. It's like creating like sensors in their brain, right? In their brains. Like if you say like, oh yeah, Israel is like genocidal, they may like, oh come on, it's not genocide, right? But just saying that is priming them for when they look at the news and they see, oh yeah, Israel just bombed a hospital. Oh, Israel just bombed like a refugee camp. It primes them. You know, they might react negatively to whatever arguments you're giving them, but it primes them. And like the person didn't react negatively to like me saying cinematographers are fascists, but it did make them eyebrows raise, right? Raise an eyebrow like this. Now, after that, they were maybe not primed. It's like a weird way to say it, but like, yeah, a commenter on cinematography made a cool comment and recommended the Germinal channel. Anyway, yeah, so it made them raise an eyebrow and it made them more sensitive to whatever, you know, thing I said. And through that sensitivity, they were able to catch something and write a comment and get a shit ton of likes for that comment, to a point where it got the, you know, biggest comment on a fascist video, and calling them a fascist and having people agree with them. It's great. I'm so happy. Anyway, I'm really happy. And all of that with the stream and with like a smaller channel, not even with like the big canvas channel. Hey, we're doing good things. We're doing good things. We won, boys. Fascism is over. We did it. We did it. Tommy underscore says, and often it is less about the arguments, but about getting to know the person behind the opposing opinions and going, oh, leftists don't want to burn the world. These people are really kind of nice, actually. Yeah, that's the whole small talk is praxis. Oh, Power Anarchist talking about Israel. I'm going to read the comment, but I don't want to go into Israel is failing so bad at propaganda. It makes me doubt my belief that we can't fault the average person for falling for fascist propaganda. Like, how can you believe that shit Israel is putting out there? I know. I feel like things might be changing a little bit in public perception because Israel has just been going fucking bonkers. They've been going bonkers. I'm reading a book that actually really fucking good right now, and it's called Le Mage du Kremlin. This year, a book basically on Russian politics, Putin, and all that. That was published right before the Ukraine invasion. It's really good. And one of the things that I know struck me was the fact that at one point, well, they're talking about how one of the first things that Putin ever did was go to war in Chechnya, and using a terrorist act to justify that war. The Wizard of the Kremlin, yeah, basically, call me underscore, yeah, that's basically it. You're a wizard, Vladimir. Well, the wizard is Putin's right hand man or whatever, like counselor, and they're following the counselor's experience. It's really good. Can you say bonkers? I want to make sure I heard it right. Israel's going bonkers. Yeah, other countries are doing better propaganda for them. It's true. But yeah, the war in Chechnya was justified through an act of terrorism. And, 9/11, justifying intervention in the Middle East, blah, 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 blah. These terrorist attacks, like how many times will invasions, wars, fucking the Reichstag getting burnt was like it's been going on for a while. The Reichstag was burnt and was used as a justification for the concentration of power for Hitler. When are we gonna learn that these terrorist actions can't just justify justify invasions and mass killings? I don't know when we're going to learn that. Also, this whole situation does show how bad representative governments fail at filling their claim of representing the people. Everywhere, masses have been protesting in support of Palestine, and all the governments are just like, we should support Israel in their genocide. Yeah. At the very fucking least, a ceasefire, right? A lot of Canadians have asked Trudeau, and they're not even like people who are pro-Palestine, they're just asking for a ceasefire because they see that things are going really fucking bad. And Trudeau's like, no, we're not even going to do a ceasefire. Wait, is the book really called The Wizard of the Kremlin? Yes, it is. In English, I guess it's called The Story of Russia. Is that what it is? It's written by a man who usually who like studies, who's like a political science professor. He usually writes nonfiction, and he wrote this, which is, it's fiction but with a lot of nonfic. Yeah, The Wizard of the Kremlin, published in 2022. It was a finalist for the Prix Goncourt, which is a big prize in French It won le prix de l'Académie française, which is also a pretty prestigious prize. It's good. I recommend it. Born translation French wins this round. I mean, Wizard of the Kremlin is kind of fucking funny as well. I didn't think about that, but yeah, you're a wizard, Vladimir. I mean, it's not factual. A lot of it is not true. Because he's writing a book on a man he never met. But it's actually Vladimir Putin. There's Eltsin. There's Vladislav Surkov. And the main character is actually a real main character. He wanted to write, from what I understand, he wanted to write a biography on this person because he was such a huge, like an interesting character. He was someone who was interested in arts, in theater, in literature, and turns out he became the right hand man of Vladimir Putin when he ascended to power, and he was kind of he was kind of an outsider within all this structure of power. It's a good book also on power in general, and how power can manifest itself and deploy itself differently according to different cultures. Oh, really? Your government changed a little? Good. We'll see how it goes. I feel like it's good that public opinion is shifting. Honestly, I wasn't counting on it. Poll. What do poll about Israel and Palestine? Like a recent poll. I mean, if your poll doesn't have a graph, then what the fuck is the point of having a poll, right? Oh, that's something I wanted to look into, actually. Yeah, 68% want a ceasefire. Yeah, because I feel like it's not necessarily partisan, right? A ceasefire. The generational rift that explains Democrats' angst over Israel. Age and ideology appear to be driving the split among Democrats. Interesting. I want to know more about that. Sunday through Tuesday, 42% of Americans said they sympathize more with Israel in their longstanding conflict with Palestinians. I feel like it's going down. Was it 42% last time we looked? I feel like 42% is not as... while only 9% picks Palestinians. Right, okay, maybe not. Another 22% said their sympathies were about equal, and more than 1 in 4, 27% weren't sure. Yeah, people still don't know what the fuck is going on there, and probably don't want to know. Killings, blah blah blah. Yeah. In the new poll, 28% of self-identified Democrats said they sympathize with both groups equally. 26% said they sympathize more with Israel, and 15% with Palestinians, which is still fucking low for the supposedly leftist party. Bon, age and ideology appear to be driving the split among Democrats. This is what I want to know. Among Americans under the age of 30, 25% said they sympathize more with Israeli, 19% with Palestinians, and 25% with both equally. That's insane. The split was similar among those who described their ideology as liberal. 25% for the Israelis, 17% with Palestinians, and 31%. That's more than double than, like, yeah, Democrats aren't. That's why I said supposedly a leftist party or a left party, whatever. 17% is huge. 19% is also extremely big. 90% with Palestinians. That's more than double. What was it? 7%? 9%? Yeah, it's more than double. The poll showed greater support for Israel. According with Fox, it did not offer respondents the option of saying they sided with both groups equally. But majorities of near majorities of Democrats, 59%, and voters under 35, 49% said they sided more with the Israelis in the Middle East conflict. Far fewer Republicans, 79%. Far fewer than Republicans. I'm still surprised that it's... Wow. Sympathy for Israelis, for Democrats, is that, well, it dropped 11%. Is that it? Minus 11%? Whew. Yeah. Over Middle East conflicts has widened in recent years. Percentage of Americans by generation sympathize more with the Israeli. Yeah, millennials are at minus percentage supporting Israeli. Oh, it's because it's projections. Is that it? Yeah, it's projections, I guess. Oh, below the 0% line indicates more support for the Palestinians. So millennials support more Palestinians than they do Israel, which is completely different than every other generation. Interesting. Okay. That's what I expected. Ageist here. Hi, I'm Sean. I'm an ageist. Biden has fucked up his re-election quite badly. Like, only 17% of Muslims say they want to vote for him now. Understandably. Yeah. We'll see if that's enough to make to put Trump as a precedent, which I have a feeling that, I don't know. If I was a Muslim, and like, you know, I can't speak for Muslims because I'm not a Muslim myself, but I prefer Biden to Trump. But that's just me. I'm imagining, you know, I can't really put myself in the shoes of Muslim people. But yeah, that's what I think. All right. Oh yeah, cinema cartography. We need a conclusion. I forgot to do a conclusion. So yes, cinema cartography is a fascist. I'm happy that his comment section, or their comment section, seems to be more aware of it and more maybe sensitive to that, and don't shy away from criticizing them for it, and for the vagueness of their claims and the lack of material analysis of what they say. Perhaps cinema cartography watched the video since it was linked in the comment section. Maybe they're going to watch this one. Cinema cartography. I'm calling you a fascist, but I don't necessarily think that you are. I don't think that you have bad intentions. I don't think that you're acting maliciously. I do believe that you might have ideas that are in themselves malicious, because their consequences would be terrible and devastating. But I don't think that you and yourself are a bad person. I think you really care about these things, as I do as well. I just think that your conclusions may not be in the right place. And the conclusions that the road that you're taking, all right, no. I'm a communist. I'm an anarchist. I don't agree with Stalin, Mao, and all those leftists that you've showed on your video. So I don't agree with them. And I do believe that, we have to be extra vigilant about leftists who might turn more authoritarian, as I am. But I think we have to be even more vigilant about people who are on the right wing, who are being authoritarian. And the path that I'm seeing you go towards, is a path that we've also seen repeated through history. And it's one that's, at least to me, far more chilling in its effects than the one that you've claimed that was the worst, which is the left wing. As someone pointed out in your video, Tarkovsky was able to make his movies from the USSR. And as I've said, yes, he was censored. And it wasn't always that great. And I'm not defending the USSR here. But the thing is, people who were called degenerate artists in Nazi Germany, well, they had to run away. They didn't have the freedom of being able to make movies and have their movies funded by the state. Far from it. So I would ask you to be as vigilant about right-wing, criticism of degenerate art as you are vigilant about left-wing authoritarianism. I hate both authoritarianisms. I hate the left wing and I hate the right wing authoritarianism. And I do recognize that both exist. And I would never prefer one to the other. You seem to prefer one for the other. And it's quite concerning. And I'm happy to see that a lot of people in your comment section are as concerned as I am. Again, doesn't mean that you're malicious. It means that maybe you're unaware of the implications of the ideas that you're promoting on your channel. Are we leaving it at that, chat? Is that good? Is there something you want to say to cinema cartography in chat? Krena says, I'm ready to fight cinema cartography fans on the internet. Okay. Okay. Does cinema cartography not know the history of Nazis calling art degenerate? I have no idea. All right. Okay. Well, it's a good question, maybe an anarchist. Does cinema cartography not know the history of Nazis calling art degenerate? The very, very close, the proximity of degenerate art with Nazism and authoritarianism and fascism. Do they not know that? That's a good question. That's how we're going to end the video. If cinema cartography, you hear that, you can answer. Please do. Cinema cartography should make a response video to Start Some Beef. Start Some Beef. No, I'm trying to be nice. I'm saying I don't think... No. We're going to try to be nice. Don't be a Nazi, cinema cartography. Yeah, I at least hope they can take something out of these criticisms. And I really hope they do. Of course they might. I really hope so. And I think that by being nice and being, like tending ahead, like calling them a fascist, a lot of people see being called a fascist as like an insult, but it's not necessarily an insult. It can be like trying to describe what they believe in a, I was going to say non-judgmental. There's a bit of judgment when you call someone a fascist. But it doesn't mean that you want to revile them and you don't want to talk to them or whatever. As I've said, like, I was fascy when I was very young. I was very fascy. And I've already talked about it on stream. If someone told me, hey, I have concerns about certain ideas that you're holding, because the implications of such ideas, if you extend them to the logical extent, are quite scary and might not be what you want. Like, I think a lot of people who are fascists, me included, me in the past included, and perhaps cinema cartography, believe in these things without necessarily pushing their own reasoning to their logical conclusions, or believing that, the conclusions could be different. In any case, thank you for watching. Thank you Thank you for subscribing. I've never done this. I've never ended a segment like this. Thank you for watching cinema cartography more specifically. Including mask off. Fuck you. Okay, I'm not a fascist. All right. But if I was, I would want you to try to understand and have a dialogue with me, and maybe try to make me understand that, you know, being a fascist is how I'm being a fascist. Because a lot of fascists say that they're not fascists. Anyway, all right. Segment ended. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Hold on. I'm getting a call. I'm just going to mute myself. Sorry about that. Hey, so, like, there's been some drama, and that's one of the other reasons why I haven't been here. I haven't been streaming. There's been some drama that I'll talk about later, I guess, when there's developments. I'll tell you the whole story, but I'm sort of angry, and I'm sort of trying to fight the system. Tell us now. No, drama, like, personally, and like in my own personal, like in my own village. Okay, still tell us? I'll tell you really quickly. A TLDR kind of thing, okay? Because I'm still trying to find, like, how, still seeing if there's something we can change. You support me. I've already told you about the cultural system, cultural situation where I live. It's mostly artisanry and, you know, really, it's basically retinal art. That's, you know, in terms of culture and art. It's the kind of art that cinematography would love, right, in my region. And I've been trying to change that for the longest time. I've made friends who also trying to change that. And recently, there's been a call to make artistic projects in the city or in the region, and one of these that call actually was giving $10,000 to 4 different artists, so $10,000 each, to develop a project that was supposed to make the city more dynamic, or make the region more dynamic. And we were really excited for this. And out of the 12 people who applied, I knew 8 of them. It's a really small, you know, milieu. And out of the 8 I knew, only 1 got picked. 3 other people were people I didn't know about. And they're mostly older people who make craftsmanship. They make artisanry. They make the kind of shit that let's say doesn't, one of them makes like children's books that look like PowerPoints. So I was very, very disappointed. So I'm trying to find a way to maybe not contest it, but trying to raise awareness to the fact that holy shit, it can't be like that. That's basically what's going on. This is the drama. I'll tell you more about it because there's more to it. I'll tell you more about it later. But does this go back to the meeting you had when you were doing the residency gallery? Oh, that, not really, but it's all kind of linked in my head, which is the lack of ambition and the lack of vision in terms of art in this region. But yeah, it's all connected. Yeah, in just a short drive away, you're not too far. I have nothing against folk art, you know, but a short drive away. No, you're not a short drive away. No. I don't want you here. I don't want any of you here. Okay. Hey, guess what we're gonna do? I don't know what you think about this, but I'm thinking of doing something. I said it would be a short stream. We're at 1 hour and 15 minutes in. We could do what do you think? What if you think if we start learning a bit? No, not Pajama Sam. We're done with Pajama Sam. I'm still at a negative count in terms of subscribers with my Pajama Sam video, okay? People don't like it. I imagine you being at the center of the art community in your region and having lots of influence. Hard to tell. Not necessarily. The problem is I'm quite new to this place. And institutional power is definitely not on my side. So the power I have is the power that my group of friends has, which is not a lot. Welcome back, Groovalicious. Hey, you came to like a new segment, right before a new segment. No, you went up to 24,000 subs from 21,000. I saw it go up from 24,000 to 21,000. I have more than 21,000. What? 24,000. What are you talking about? Hey, we're almost at 500k subs eventually. Sometime this we'll get close. 500k, 500,000. Can you imagine? Yeah, we need to talk to the intellectuals who secretly control the art world. Yeah. It's an irony that you have problems with old people on YouTube. And on YouTube, most of your audience are older people. I know. I fucking know. Yeah, no fucking wonder why my Pajama Sam video could not get the proper amount of attention that it deserved. See, I'm ageist as fuck. Can I just say, after one stream, you're probably already my favorite stream on here. Thank you. Well, wait. I'll disappoint you greatly. Watch me disappoint you. All right. So, at the end of my streams, and like I usually stream for longer, but I've got to go, work on the house. I've got some wallpaper. I'll take pictures. I'll show you the wallpaper I'm working on when I next stream. This is the best part of the stream. I'm not sure about that. So I have a little side project that I decided to shoehorn with on the stream, and it's called an anarchist FAQ. It's now at 1.4k subscribers. We're at 50 videos, and we get a couple of views. All right, it's not too bad. We got a total of 15,000 views, almost 16,000 views. And what it is just me reading an anarchist FAQ. If you don't know what anarchist FAQ is
Israel
I'm doing
not
this just for
allowed to defend
Groovalicious.
itself from?
I'm doing this solely for Groovalicious. Wait, I probably don't want to do that. Germinal. Here. Do you want to know more about anarchism? Do you also hate capitalism and don't trust the state with concentrated power? Do you have questions about anarchism like, isn't anarchism just chaos? Can ethical consumerism stop the ecological crisis? How does capitalism affect freedom? Well, do I have a free resource for you? An anarchist FAQ has hundreds, no, thousands of paragraphs answering your questions about anarchism. If you care about freedom, justice, and democracy, check it out now. And if the pressures of capitalism make you too busy or tired to read, check out an anarchist FAQ on Spotify or YouTube, where yours truly reads it to you for free. Beautiful. Okay. So this is what we do. Where's the seagull scream and big American flag? I didn't have time to I didn't have time to put so much work into the editing. I was working on Pajama Sam back then, I think. I'm not sure. So we're going to read the Anarchist FAQ. By the way, we're at 16,000 views on YouTube, but at 50,000 plays on Spotify. So what we're doing here, okay? It's a really arduous work. It's really hard work because there's thousands of chapters to read. And I know people have tried before. There's an Audible Anarchist who, Audible Anarchist? Yeah. Who it's a whole channel dedicated to reading anarchist books, said they tried to do FAQ, but it's unconceivable. Yeah, 4,400 pages. Yeah, Audible Anarchist is really good. They commented. Guys, it's an eagle screech, not a seagull. Yeah, but the seagull would have been so funny though. That's what we want. Like this. Not
La
like this.
précision se trouve dans les détails.
C'est en français?
Elle vous garde connecté et en sécurité. Elle est dans chacun de vos mouvements. Achetez votre Kia Forte maintenant. Kia, du mouvement vient l'inspiration.
Wow. That's it. I hope watching that 20-second ad was worth the 5 seconds of a seagull screeching. All right, at least we got 12 seconds of the video, at least, And I think eagles are basically like seagulls. Did you know I was bitten by a seagull once? I bet you didn't know that, did you? And I still have a scar. I don't think you'll be able to see it. I have a scar right here. It was when I was very young, and it was actually in Chandler, where I live right now, in Chandler, Quebec. And I got bitten by a seagull. Jokes on the ad. I don't know French. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a big SUV so that I can drive my kids around it. Yeah, for sure, of course. I actually had okay. Sometimes I have ideas of art that I want to make. You know what? I want to tell you which art I want to make, but I don't want to. Actually, I don't think I want to say it because I don't want you guys to steal my idea. So you know what? I'm not going to say it, and I'll do it, and then I'll show you once I do it. You probably deserve to be bitten. I think I did. The seagull was on the side of the road, and it wasn't doing anything. And I saw it for the whole day, and it was just on the side of the road. It wasn't moving. It was moving. It's like on its on, but I don't think it could fly. So I kind of felt bad for it. So I was like, I'm gonna bring it home. So I went to go grab it, and then the seagull didn't like that, and it bit me. Krenna says, bald eagles sound more like seagulls. There you go. Yeah, I hope you're keeping track of this. I gotta patent my art idea. You love that story? Okay. All right. All this to say, I still need to edit the Italian occupation, which I'll do tonight. Because I spend my Wednesday nights at a bar alone. But don't worry, it's not as sad as it sounds, okay? I spend my nights at the bar alone because I drive ballet. Ballet started working at a prison, teaching English to prisoners. And it's 45 minutes away. And I really, really don't trust Ballet's driving. Call me a misogynist if you want. I don't trust Ballet's driving, not for 1 cent. So I go with Ballet to the prison, which is 45 minutes away. I come back, and it's really dark when we come back as well, because they finish at 9. So I just go with them, but obviously I can't just chill in the prison. So I go to the bar that's right next to the prison, and I go work. So I'm gonna go edit the Anarchist FAQ tonight, and it's for 2 hours. So that's why I'm gonna record an episode right now of the Anarchist FAQ, so I can edit both of them, 8.5.5 and 8.5.6. Why not make yourself useful? I actually wanted to be a teacher as well at the prison, but they can only have 1 class at a time. They can't have 2 classes. Yeah, wow, Calvin_. So you spend your Wednesday in a bar and they spend their time behind bars. Yeah, brilliant. Good one. Can we get a round of applause in chat for Calvin_? That's really good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Krana, for clapping. Good. This one. Thank you, Groovalicious, for complimenting my eyes, I guess. Repulsive Unicorn, thank you for following. They followed just because of Calm_'s because of that joke. Thank you for following. Welcome. People say welcome to Repulsive Unicorn. We're about to start reading the Anarchism in the Spanish Revolution. I don't know if that's why you came here for or whatever. We're about to start, okay? It's just I've been kind of throwing it off. Look at how much work this chat preforms for this stream. What do you mean preforms for the stream, Pyronix? I'm not sure I understand. Look how much work this chat preforms for this stream. Wait. Preforms definition. Preform, form or shape beforehand. Okay, so look at how much work this chat shapes beforehand for this stream. Yeah, forms in advance. I'm not sure I understand, Pyranarchist. But thank you for for trying. Okay. Reading for real. Okay, no, we're not going to read for real. I'm going to go pee. You know, because I don't want to be reading while I want to actually go pee. Okay, we're not going to do that. I'm going to show you, while I go pee, let me put you a video that you can watch. Which one would I buy? Which electric car would I buy? None. I don't have money. Okay. Here. It's not a Pajama Sam video. So, I'm trad. Yeah, you're right, baby, an anarchist. All right. So next to the prison, which is 45 minutes away, there's an island. And on that island, there is the biggest colony of what is called food bassin, which you can actually walk through because they're used to like northern gannet. That's what this is them. And this is in on the island I was talking about. But this is them. And sometimes they kiss like that. But this is them. So on the theme of seagulls and of Gaspésie, which is where I live, you're going to get to see them. All right. I'll be right back. I didn't think it would be sound. I'm so sorry. Okay. I did not know that it would be sound. I'm sorry. It's kind of funny. I'm glad that you kind of liked it, or it was torture. I don't know. Couldn't you have found a better video? That wasn't that a good video? Look at that. No? You can imagine the confusion for someone just tuning in to read about anarchism, the Spanish Revolution. This is what they get. Repulsive Unicorn, first time chat. We already said hi when you followed 5 minutes ago, so we're not going to say hi again. But you said, have you seen Cinema's cartography video on propaganda? Talks at length about USSR. I'm still in denial. A fascist wouldn't make an entire video essay praising gay vampires art, right? Gay vampire art, right? I haven't watched that video. Honestly, of cinema cartography, I've watched a couple. Cinema cartography. What? Cinema cartography. Oh, wow. We're getting a raid. Thank you so much, chap, Zach. Oh, we're tuning in to read. Is that what's going on? We're tuning in to read? On propaganda. Apparently art is not for sale was good. Oh, well. Thank you so much. Junk Saint and Jazz Guitar Jeff, thank you. Wait, I gotta find, is it slash shout out? No? Slash shout out. Yeah. There you go. Slash shout out. Cap? Oh, there you go. It worked. Okay, good. I'm learning to do this. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Hello, Raiders. If you don't know me, it's not first time that Zach since. No, it's not Das Capital. We're keeping on going with Anarchist FAQ. Eventually, we're gonna read if we read Das Capital. I don't think we're going to read Das Kapital, but there is an anarchist summary of Das Kapital. Well, it's not an anarchist summary, but it's a summary of Das Kapital made by an anarchist, which Marx himself approved of, which was rare for the time because Marx didn't like when people summarized his work because he worked very hard on these works. And he was like, hey, don't dumb my shit down. But it's like, well, the proles need to read it. I'm Sean, by the way. I have an art history YouTube channel on YouTube, and I do these streams for fun sometimes. And yeah, this is me. Welcome everyone. All right. We're saying hello to Raiders. Look at them. Look at them with all their nice colors and their animations. Always rated during the boring part. Okay, reading is boring, but it's important, okay? It's important. I have to allow... What is Pyro Anarchist saying? Things we have done in the stream. Establish that all fascists are dumb fucks. Cinema cartography might be a fascist. Israel bad. Israel bad, and I'm comfortable with saying cinema cartography is a fascist. Yeah, your message was blocked because you said dumb fucks. The auto mod is anti-freeze peach. Is that okay? Oh, you're held a message for a reason. Bullying. Stop bullying, okay? Okay, enough. We're gonna read. because I got some work to do after, which is basically editing these readings. All right, so we're going to read an anarchist FAQ. We're at Anarchism and the Spanish Revolution, which is going to be a very interesting one. It's one that I know a bit about and that I actually love learning about. I don't know if this might be more of an introduction to the anarchism and the Spanish Revolution. There might be more to it later in the FAQ, but this is what we're getting for now. So let's read it, and eventually I'll edit it and put it on Spotify and on the channel and Anarchist FAQ. If you're interested, you can go check out the other segments or the other questions or answers for every segment up to this point. They're all on YouTube and Spotify. All right, let's start. And there won't be any Italian names or even worse, Russian names to pronounce. So this should be easier. My Spanish, as Alt Zerge can I've actually been practicing my Spanish. Anyway, you'll see how great it is. Okay. 8.5.6 Anarchism and the Spanish Revolution. As Noam Chomsky notes, open quote, a good example of a really large-scale anarchist revolution, in fact, the best example to my knowledge, is the Spanish Revolution in 1936, in which over most of Republican Spanish, I'm not sure, in which over most of Republican Spain, there was a quite inspiring anarchist revolution that involved both industry and agriculture over substantial areas. And that again was by both human measures and indeed anyone's economic measures quite successful. That is, production continued effectively, workers in farms and factories proved quite capable of managing their affairs without coercion from above, contrary to what lots of socialists, communists, liberals, and other wanted to believe. The revolution of 1936 was based on three generations of experiment. The revolution of 1936 was based on three generations of experiment and The revolution of 1936 was based on three generations of experiment and thought and work, which extended anarchist ideas to very large parts of the population. End quote. I know Chomsky is a bit cringe at the moment. I talked about it yesterday with people I know. I know. You win some, you lose some. Due to this anarchist organization and agitation, Spain in the 1930s had the largest anarchist movement in the world. At the start of the Spanish Civil War, over 1.5 million workers and peasants were members of the CNT, I thought it would be in Spanish, CNT, the National Confederation of Labor, an anarcho-syndicalist union federation, and 30,000 were members of the FAI, the Anarchist Federation of Iberia. The total population of Spain at this time was 24 million. The social revolution which met the fascist coup on The social revolution which met the fascist coup on July 18th, 1936 is the greatest experiment in libertarian socialism to date. Here, the last mass syndicalist union, the CNT, not only held off the fascist rising, but encouraged the widespread takeover of land and factories. Over 7 million people, including about 2 million CNT members, put self-management into practice in the most difficult of circumstances and actually improved both working conditions and output. Is it heady or heady? Heady or heady? In the heady days of after the 19th of July, or heady days? You guys are you're gonna troll, so I'm gonna go pronunciation. I don't even know why I'm asking. Head says Zeoduk? Yeah, thank you, Pyronicus. I knew it. How dare you have IRL acquaintances?
Heady.
Heady. All right, you were right. Zoduk was right. Was right. Thank you. Thank you. In the heady days after the 19th of July, the initiative and power truly rested in the hands of the rank and file members of the CNT and FAI. It was ordinary people, undoubtedly under the influence of faistas, members of the FAI, and CNT militants who, after defeating the fascist uprising, got production, distribution, and consumption started again, under more egalitarian arrangements, of course, as well as organizing and volunteering in their tens of thousands to join the militias, which were to be sent to free those parts of Spain that were under Franco. In every possible way, the working class of Spain were creating by their own actions a new world based on their own ideas of social justice and freedom, ideas inspired, of course, by anarchism and anarcho-syndicalism. George Orwell's eyewitness account of revolutionary Barcelona in late December 1936 gives a vivid picture of the social transformation that had begun. Open quote. Whoa, that's one hell of a vivid picture, isn't it? Literally 1936, I know. Open quote. The anarchists were still in virtual control of Catalonia, and the revolution was still in full swing. To anyone who had been there since the beginning, it probably seemed even in December or January that the revolutionary period was ending. But when one came straight from England, the aspect of Barcelona was something startling and overwhelming. It was the first time that I had ever been in a town where the working class was in the saddle. Practically every building of any size had been seized by the workers and was draped with red flags or with the red and black flag of the anarchists. Every wall was scrawled with the hammer and sickle and with the initials of the revolutionary parties. Almost every church had been gutted and its images burnt. Churches here and there were being systematically demolished by gangs of workmen. Every shop and cafe had an inscription saying that it had been collectivized. Every shop and cafe had an inscription saying that it had been collectivized. Even the bootblacks had been collectivized and their boxes painted red and black. Waiters and shop walkers looked you in the face and treated you as an equal. Servile and even ceremonial forms of speech had temporarily disappeared. Nobody said señor or don or even usted. Everyone called everyone else comrade or thou and said salud instead of buenos dias. Above all, there was a belief in the revolution and the future, a feeling of having suddenly emerged into an era of equality and freedom. Human beings were trying to behave as human beings and not as cogs in the capitalist machine. End quote. The full extent of this historic revolution cannot be covered here. It will be discussed in more detail in section I.8 of the FAQ. All that can be done is to highlight a few points of special interest in the hope that these will give some indication of the importance of these events and encourage people to find out more about it. All industry in Catalonia was placed either under workers' self-management or workers' control, that is either totally taking over all aspects of management in the first case, or in the second, controlling the old management. In some cases, whole town and regional committees In some cases, whole town and regional economies. In some cases, whole town and regional economies were transformed into federations of collectives. The example of the Railway Federation, which was set up to manage the railway lines in Catalonia, Aragon, and Valencia, can be given as a typical example. The base of the federation was the local assemblies. Open quote. All the workers of each locality would meet twice a week to examine all that pertained to the work to be done. The local General Assembly named a committee to manage the general activity in each station and its annexes. At these meetings, the decisions direction of this committee, whose members continued to work at their previous jobs, would be subjected to the approval or disapproval of the workers after giving reports and answering questions. End quote. The importance of revocable delegates, by the way, right there. The delegates on the committee could be removed by an assembly at any time. The delegates on the committee could be removed by an assembly at any time, and the highest coordinating body of the Railway Federation was the Revolutionary Committee, whose members were elected by union assemblies in the various divisions. The control over the rail lines, according to Gaston Laval, open quote, did not operate from above downwards, as in a statist and centralized system. The Revolutionary Committee had no such powers. The members of the committee being content to supervise the general activity and to coordinate that activity and to coordinate that of the different routes that made up the network. End quote. Revocable representatives hype. Yeah. Hey, Arberlin, by the way. I don't think I said hi. Hello. On the land, tens of thousands of peasants and I can't say rural. I don't think Arberlin's not new. I don't think so. On the land, tens of thousands of peasants and rural day workers created voluntary self-managed collectives. The quality of life improved. The quality of life improved as cooperation allowed the introduction of healthcare, education, machinery, and investment in the social infrastructure. As well as increasing production, the collectives increased freedom. As one member puts it, open quote, it was marvelous to live in a collective, a free society where one could say what one thought, where if the village committee seemed unsatisfactory, one could say. The committee took no big decisions without calling the whole village together in a general assembly. All this was wonderful. End quote. We discussed the revolution in more detail in section I.8. For example, sections I.8.3 and I.8.4. For example, sections I.8.3 and I.8.4 discuss in more depth how the industrial collectives. That makes no sense. Point 4, discuss in more depth the industrial collectives. The rural collectives are discussed in sections I.8.5 and I.8.6. We must stress that these sections are summaries of a vast social movement, and more information can be gathered from such works as Gaston Laval's Collectives in the Spanish Revolution, Sam Dolgoff's The Anarchist Collectives, José Perat's The CNT in the Spanish Revolution, and a host of other anarchist accounts of the revolution. I was like, is that over already? But no, it's not over. Good that it's not over. We're having fun. Aren't we having fun? Not new but new? Hello, not new but new, Arbolin. On the social front, anarchist On the social front, anarchist organizations created rational schools, a libertarian health service, social centers, and so on. The Mujeres Libres, free women, combated the traditional role of women in Spanish society, empowering thousands both inside and outside the anarchist movement. See the free women of Spain by Martha A. Ackelsberg for more information on this very important organization. This activity on the social front only built on the work started long before the outbreak of the war. For example, the unions often funded rational schools, workers' centers, and so on. The voluntary militias that went to free the rest of Spain from Franco were organized on anarchist principles and included both men and women. There was no rank, no saluting, and no officer class. Everybody was equal. George Orwell, a member of the POUM militia, the POUM was a dissident Marxist party influenced by Leninism. The POUM was a dissident Marxist party influenced by Leninism, but not, as the communists asserted, Trotskyist. Makes this clear. Open quote. The essential point of the militia system was the social equality between officers and men. Everyone from general to private drew the same pay, ate the same food, wore the same clothes, and mingled on terms of complete equality. If you wanted to slap the general commanding the division on the back and ask him for a cigarette, you could do so. If you wanted to slap the general commanding the division on the back and ask him for a cigarette, you could do so, and no one thought it curious. In theory, at any rate, each militia was a democracy and not a hierarchy. It was understood that orders had to be obeyed, but it was also understood that when you gave an order, you gave it as a comrade. When you gave an order, you gave it as comrade to comrade, and not as superior to inferior. There were officers and NCOs, but there was no military rank in the ordinary sense, no titles, no badges, no heel clicking and saluting. They had attempted to produce within the militias a sort of temporary working model of the classless society. Of course, there was not perfect equality, but there was a nearer approach to it than I had ever seen or that I would have thought conceivable in time of war. End quote. Hey, this is good, isn't it? Holy shit. Give him a good spanking. No, you don't slap the general. In Spain, however, as elsewhere, the anarchist movement was smashed between Spamilism. In Spain, however, as elsewhere, the anarchist movement was smashed between Stalinism, the Communist Party, and Stalinism, the Communist Party, on the one hand, and capitalism, Franco, on the other. Unfortunately, the anarchists placed anti-fascist unity before the revolution, thus helping their enemies to defeat both. Unfortunately, the anarchists placed anti-fascist unity before the revolution, thus helping their enemies to defeat both them and the revolution. Whether they were forced by circumstances into this position or could have avoided it, or position or could have avoided it is still being debated. See section I.8.10 for a discussion of why the CNT-FI. See section I.8.10 for a discussion of why the CNT-FAI collaborated, and section I.8.11 on why this decision was not a product of anarchist theory. By the time we get to I.8, yeah, anti-fascist unity, but it's bad, actually, apparently. We'll see. It's interesting. Well, basically, uniting with authoritarian communists, fuck them over. Yeah. By the time we get to I.8, I think I don't know. I might be fucking old. Orwell's account of his experiences in the militias indicates why the Spanish Revolution is so important to anarchists. Open quote. I had dropped more or less by chance into the only community of any size in Western Europe where political consciousness and disbelief in capitalism were more normal than their opposites. Up here in Aragon, one was among tens of thousands of people, mainly though. Up here in Aragon, one was among tens of thousands of people, mainly, though not entirely, of working class origin, all living at the same level and mingling on terms of equality. In theory, it was perfect equality, and even in practice, it was not far from it. There is a sense in which it would be true to say that one was experiencing a foretaste of socialism, by which I mean that the prevailing mental atmosphere was that of socialism. Many of the normal motives of civilized life, snobbishness, money grubbing, fear of the boss, etc., had simply ceased to exist. The ordinary class division of society had disappeared to an extent that is almost unthinkable in the money-tainted air of England. There was no one there except the peasants and ourselves, and no one owned anyone else as his master. One had been in a community where hope was more normal than apathy or cynicism, where the word comrade stood for comradeship and not, as in most countries, for humbug. One had breathed the air of equality. I am well aware that it is now the fashion to deny that socialism has anything to do with equality. In every country in the world, a huge tribe of party hacks and sleek little professors are busy proving that socialism means no more than a planned state capitalism with the grab motive left intact. But fortunately, there also exists a vision of socialism quite different from this. The thing that attracts ordinary men to socialism and makes them willing to risk their skins for it, the mystique of socialism, is the idea of equality. To the vast majority of people, socialism means a classless society, or it means nothing at all. In that community where no one was on the make, where there was a shortage of everything but no bootlicking, one got perhaps a crude forecast of what the opening stages of socialism might be like. And after all, Instead of disillusioning me, it deeply attracted me. End quote. Holy shit, this is good. Orwell. Yeah, at the end we will have read the whole book from Orwell. I know, what a long quote. But that was really, okay. That was really fucking good. I wish I had that quote for my Animal Farm video where so many idiots in chat were like, but Orwell was not a socialist, like, or whatever the fuck they were saying. This is good. Hello, James, by the way, James122, who just followed 17 minutes ago. Who followed 17 minutes ago, a while ago. I didn't see that, but thank you for following. And also, I want people to say hi to James122 in chat, if you haven't already. Because that was his first time chat. Their first time chat. What do you mean I keep saying chat? It was their first time chatter who sent their first time chat. Germinal, do you fear being replaced by AI, or does it not matter so long as the anarchist FAQ becomes more accessible to people? I don't mind being replaced by AI. Not at all. If someone wants to make a voice of an AI voice of my voice, and then we can read the whole anarchist FAQ, though I do like reading it with chat. I'm learning and I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and it can be bonding and all that. Chat this, chat that. Thank you for saying hi to James, by the way. Both Krenna and maybe an anarchist. The rest of you, you're rude. All right, let's finish. Yeah, I also like it when we read together. Thank you. Thank you for liking it. I'm glad you like it. For more information on the Spanish Revolution, the following books are recommended. Lessons of the Spanish Revolution by Vernon Richards, Anarchists in the Spanish Revolution, and the CNT in the Spanish Revolution by José Peratz. Free Women in Spain by Martha I. Free Women of Spain by Martha A. Acklesberg. The Anarchist Collectives, edited by Sam Dolgoff. Objectivity and Liberal Scholarship by Noam Chomsky in the Chomsky Reader. The Anarchists of Casas Viejas by Jerome R. Mintz, and Homage to Catalonia by George Orwell. You keep saying chat said such and such, and it's always wrong opinions. Yeah, you guys are often wrong, but don't worry, I'm here to help you out with your bad takes. Yeah, I never say hi to new people. I know, rude. All right, so that was all right. The next stream will be the May-June Revolt in France, 1968. The 68 revolt was pretty interesting. And then we're moving on to section B. Can you believe it? We're finally getting out of the first section, which was section A. I can't believe it. How long have I been doing Anarchist FAQ? How long have I been doing the fucking Anarchist FAQ? I've been doing it for... videos. We're going down. For a year now? Is that it? Oh, it's not going to say when I made it, right? Nah. Wait, does it say here? February 2022. Yeah, it'll be 2 years in February. 2 years, and we'll finally be out of section A after 2 years. So yeah, section I, which we'll talk about the anarchist revolution in Spain, might take how many pages? I think it's 4,400 pages, like 8.5 by 10. Why should we skip B altogether? I didn't even see it. B is, what's it? Why do anarchists oppose the current system? No, that's a good one. That's a really good one. I'm actually excited for it. Oh, this is okay. Going in alphabetical order is an anarchist. Hey, listen, no. Anarchy is not chaos. Anarchy is order without power. But you know what? This is not an anarchist stream because I have all the power. And we both know it. All right. All that being said, oh, Alex. Oh, yeah. Alex Prop was in chat earlier watching Jordan Peterson. Yeah, you guys want to go see Alex Prop? We're going to raid. Yeah, this is the end of the stream, by the way. We read, and it's almost 4, so I got to leave soon for the bar. So it's either Alex Prop or if I write leftist. No, I think you guys are going to like... yeah, you fuckers like Jordan Peterson. We mentioned Jordan Peterson earlier. Okay. Alex Prop. I'm going to send you to Alex Prop. I want you to say hello. Ask how Alex is doing. He was in... oh, what the fuck? Okay. Yeah, he was in... raid. Alex. There you go. Oh, he's not accepting incoming raids. All right. What is the serfs doing? Okay, go look at the serfs. We're gonna say hello to the serfs. Are they taking raids? Yeah, they are. Okay, I love Lance. I'm sorry, I would have sent it to Alex, but Alex is not, doesn't take raiders. So we're gonna send it to Lance. Say hello to Lance. It's Jordan Peterson as well, from what I can tell. He says ceasefire now. And all right, he's talking about ceasefire, but you fuckers and you pyro anarchists and oh, we love fire. It's not the time. It's not the time. Okay. Have fun with your wallpaper. I'll try to have fun. I'll show you in the next stream what my wallpaper looks like. Okay. If I can finish by then on Sunday. All right. All this to say. Okay. We love ceasefires. It has fire in the name. Okay. Good. Okay. Perfect. Oof. All right. Thank you so much. Like we're at 19 people. Like for reading Anarchist FAQ. I'm very glad that you're still here for the Anarchist FAQ. All right. The train's about to go off. So see you later. Check out the Discord. It's too late to link it, but check it out. All right. Goodbye.
Some money on lobbying groups and everything like that in order to sway and keep them paying as much money. Doesn't matter what party they're a part of, whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans, doesn't matter. None of that. But no, it's welfare. It's the welfares that are doing that. Germinal. Thank you so much for the reading party of 19 viewers. Go to twitch.tv/Germinal. Give Germinal a follow back. Really appreciate that. Hello. We're listening to the Jordan Peterson new music video. It's amazing and incredible and a gift in these trying times. The Praetorian, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Brand new subby. Everyone, please be cozy.